welcome to Element. I'm Jennifer, and today I'm going to guide you through a short workout to help relieve symptoms and heal a prolapse. Now, if you've been diagnosed with a prolapse, it is important that you work with a women's health or a pelvic health physio just to make sure that they're addressing your unique situation and getting the best care possible. Now, this workout is safe and gentle enough to be practiced each day, but if there's anything that we do that feels painful or uncomfortable, always feel free to step back and rest if you need. If you have any questions about any of the exercises, you can pop them down into the comments below. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with new workouts and tutorials that get posted each week. Now, I also have a free postnatal health and exercise guide available. This will detail lots of things that we should and shouldn't be doing in terms of exercise in this immediate and later postnatal period. And if you would like a copy of that, you can follow the link down below. So for today's workout, you'll need a bolster, or if you don't have a bolster, perhaps a large couch cushions or even a couple of big pillows. All right, when you're ready, let's get started. So we'll begin sitting on our bolster, making sure you're up in a really tall, straight spine. So pad yourself up as much as possible to get out of any tightness or tension in your hips. We'll begin by bringing our hands down around the lower belly. Just think about lengthening up through your spine and the crown of your head. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Release any tension around the up back. And then let your head drop from side to side, just to release out any neck and upper trap tension as well. Good. Okay, so let's now start our focus on our breathing. Take an inhale through your nose, and then exhale just really softly and gently all the way out. That's it. And again, deep breaths all the way in. And out. Good. Now keep going with those. As you're breathing in, I want you to feel your belly expanding and rising out in front of you. And as you exhale, your belly will just soften and slowly fall away from the hands in front. Good. Keep going with those. Inhale. Exhale, excellent. Now move the hands up to the outer sides of the ribs, just at the very base of the chest, and wrap your thumbs around the back of the rib cage here as well, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Check again, we're still in a nice, tall, neutral line. Let's go back to that deep breathing again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale all the way out and release. Keep that going. So with your hands here, you'll feel as you breathe in, your ribs will press sideways, and then think of pressing into the back as well. Good, so the ribs are filling up the space between your index finger and your thumb, all the way around from side to back. Good. So this is called our lateral breath, that side to side breathing pattern. And what this does is uses your diaphragm really effectively. Your diaphragm is actually one of your core muscles, and the more we can start to use it properly, the less downward pressure and tension it will take off the pelvic floor, which is what we need if we're working with any issues like prolapse. Good, so just keep that going. Inhale. And slowly exhale. Good, so you're feeling the belly lift at the front, the ribs open at the sides and the back. And then everything just softening and releasing back in. Good. Now I know we're spending quite a bit of time here practicing these deep breaths, but it's probably the most important thing that you can do during this time. Good. So take a couple of moments each and every day to really practice that deep breathing, always making sure we're in a nice, tall, neutral position. Good. All right, let's bring our hands back down to that low belly. Once again, check you're in a nice, tall, neutral spine. Reset everything. Now we'll use our breath to start engaging and releasing the pelvic floor. So we'll start with a breath in to prepare. On your exhale, lift and engage the pelvic floor muscles and gently hold. Now remember, pelvic floor muscles, you'll know you're using them correctly if you could feel like you're stopping the flow of urine at the front of the pelvic floor. And we also feel like we're trying to stop passing gas at the back. That's it. And then slowly release the muscles completely, all the way out. Good, completely relax here. Let's take another breath in. Again, exhale, lift and engage. Find that pelvic floor connection. Try to maintain it as you keep breathing. Try not to squeeze your bottom or clench your inner thighs. So it's just isolating that lower core, the pelvic floor. Release slowly. Good, take another breath in. We'll move a little quicker now. Exhale, lift and engage pelvic floor. Inhale, slowly release with control. Completely relax. Inhale. Exhale, lift and engage. Hold that connection. Inhale, release it. Last time. And exhale, lift and engage. Find that pelvic floor lift. Stay there again. Keep holding, keep breathing for 3, 2, 1, and then release completely. Good. So just a reminder, when you are practicing your pelvic floor exercises, while it is important to learn to connect and engage the muscles, it is equally, and if not more important, to learn to relax them and release them completely and with control. So make sure you're doing both when you practice this. All right, from here, we'll bring our bolster and we'll come down to laying flat on our back on the mat. So once you're laying down, just place that bolster or pillow underneath your knee so you can grab it easily again in a moment. Starting off, just rest your hips down onto the mat. Relax your ribs, your shoulders, and your head. Place your hands back onto that low belly. To start off here, all we do is tuck and tilt the pelvis a couple of times, rocking back and forth. So feel like your lower back is flattening down into the mat and then releasing back into its neutral position. Try to relax again through the glute muscles. That's it, your bottom muscles are released. Good, relaxing the inner thighs and the rest of the legs. And now I want you to find your neutral spine. So neutral spine here is when there's a small natural curve underneath this lower part of the back. And we have a little bit of weight down in the back of the ribs here too. Once again, we'll practice our breath and our core and pelvic floor connection. Let's take an inhale to prepare. On the exhale, lift and engage the pelvic floor. Feel that connection wrapping around the waist. And then inhale, release completely. Let's do that again. Exhale, lift and engage. And inhale, release. One more time. Exhale, hold that, staying here. That's it, and breathe. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Relax the muscles. Great work. Now lift your hips up. Just drag that cushion or bolster underneath your hips here, making sure it's really supporting you through the back of the hip joints and as well as the tailbone. So it's not pressing too high up into the mid-back and you're not letting your bottom hang off the edge at the back. So now we're still in our neutral. We're slightly elevated, but just check you're not tucking or tilting that pelvis. Good, engage your core and your pelvic floor muscles here and reach your arms straight up to the ceiling. Let's get ready for a single leg lift. We take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, float one leg up to a tabletop position, lifting the knee just above the hip, and then inhale, place it down. Change sides. Exhale, lift the other leg up, and inhale to lower it down. So let's keep going with those. We alternate lifting and lowering one leg after the other. Keeping that core connection, and just check that the pelvis is stable on top of that bolster. So we never rock or tilt from side to side. Good, feeling your abdominal muscles connecting, your pelvic floor is lifting at all times. Let's do one more on each leg. On the last one, lift and hold, stay there. Now let's tighten our core just a little bit deeper. Bring both legs up to tabletop. So feeling now a little bit more load on the core muscles. If it gets too much on your lower back, please take the feet one at a time down and rest. Let's bring it into a toe tap this time. Inhale, lower one foot, tap the floor. Exhale, bring it up, and then change. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. That's it. Keep going with those. Watching that your rib cage hasn't started to pop outwards. Keep drawing the back of the rib cage down, maintaining our neutral spine at all times. So being elevated up here on this bolster just takes all the gravitational load off your pelvic floor. So it allows the muscles to engage without that heaviness, without that feeling of the organs weighing down. Good, now once you've evened out your legs here, remember you can always take a break if you need to. Come back and join me when you're ready. Otherwise, let's take it into a single leg stretch. Deep breath in. Exhale, one leg reaches away from you. Inhale, return. As the leg reaches out, again, tighten through the core. Flatten through the front, the belly. Zip up pelvic floor muscles. Keep those ribs in. Exhale and reach. Release. Good, one more each side. Stretch. And in. Now once you've evened out your legs, come back to tabletop. Squeeze your inner thighs together and hold this position here. Now we'll take those inner thighs and reach them about 2 centimeters away from the body. Inhale, bring the knees back in. Exhale, stretch the legs out and in. So this is a small movement. What I want you to really focus on is first of all squeezing the inner thighs. So your inner thighs and your pelvic floor muscles connect together really well. And secondly, watch again that rib cage placement. So we haven't popped our chest upwards. We're keeping the belly nice and strong and flat at all times. 3 more, reach and in. Last 2. Just work within your range here. Last 1. Come back to tabletop. Squeeze your inner thighs. Hold for 3. Squeeze a little deeper. 2. 1. Separate the knees. Place one foot down, other foot down, and release. Good. Well done. All right, you can remove that bolster and we'll place the hips back onto the floor. And so just laying down flat on the mat now, let's come into our bridging. Your feet are hip distance apart and parallel. Reach your arms long beside you. Now we will start in our neutral spine. Take a breath in, prepare. On the exhale, tuck the tailbone until your lower back is flattening into the mat. And then roll your hips upwards to the ceiling. Lift that pelvis up, open the chest. Good, squeeze into those inner thigh muscles just a little bit to avoid opening the knees out wide. Stay here as you breathe in, and then exhale, let's roll it down. Upper back, middle back, low back. Inhale, release and find your neutral spine. Ready to go again. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Roll the hips up, squeeze through the back of the legs, your hamstrings, and squeeze into your glutes, your bottom muscles here. Get a roll down when you're ready. We'll do 2 more like this. Find your neutral, inhale. Exhale, let's roll it back up. Inhale at the top. And exhale, rolling it down. Good, last one. Now let's roll up and stay there. Good, so once your hips are up high, check. There's a nice straight line from your shoulders through your hips all the way up to your knees. Keep your core and your pelvic floor engaged. I will take it into a hip lift. So instead of rolling, we keep a straight back. Inhale, tap your hips on the floor. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. So we should be feeling the muscles working through the back of the legs and the hips, but keep the focus on the core and the pelvic floor connection as you lift up as well. Let's do 5. Squeeze and lift. 4. 3. That's it. Last 2. 1 more. Now hold that position. Keep lifting. Extend your arms up to the ceiling now. Keep the front ribs in. Activating your core. Lift the pelvic floor muscles. Breathe. We're holding here for 3. Hold 2. Hold 1. And then release all the way down to the floor. Well done. You can hug your knees in towards your chest here and just rock and roll from side to side. Good, releasing any tension through the lower back. Good, let's stay here on the back. One last stretch position. Let's take the feet down onto the floor. Open the feet as wide as your mat and just turn your palms up to the ceiling and rotate them back. Roll your legs over to one side now and let your head gently rock to the opposite direction. So here I want you to relax completely, so letting go through that side of the hip. Opening through the chest, the shoulders. Make sure you're not clenching into the glutes. Just take all the tension out of the lower back. One more deep breath in. And then exhale, bring the legs up and over to the other side. Good, so roll them across. Again, just letting the weight of the legs really release you into that stretch. Opening across the front of the thigh. Good, deep breaths. Let everything go. And then inhale, hold. Exhale, come back to center. Well done. Let's make our way now up to all fours kneeling. From here, let's place the hands flat down under the shoulders. Check your knees are directly underneath your hips. And we'll begin here with our cat stretch. Starting in a neutral spine, we take a breath in, prepare. On your exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your spine and really press away from the mat. Let your head drop, look down at your legs, and then reverse this. We inhale, roll through neutral. Into extension, we lift the chest, we lift the tailbone. Just think about the shoulder blades sliding down away from your ears. And again, we round the back up. And release. Good. So all fours kneeling is another really great position to work in if you're working with a prolapse, because there's no downward pressure or gravitational load on your pelvic floor here. It's a really nice, gentle, safe place for your spine to be in too. And so we can do lots of strengthening exercises here to engage and create that connection through pelvic floor. And then lastly, we're going to bring it up to a standing position, which is of course functional, something that you do throughout your day. Now with your cat stretch here, as you round up, really draw your core and pelvic floor muscles in. But on the inhale, release into extension and really relax your belly and pelvic floor. Widen through your sit bones. Exhale, round it up. And release it out. Inhale. Last one. Inhale. Great job. Now let's come back and find that neutral alignment. Good. Check your knees are right underneath your hips here as we get ready for some core stability and balance work. Take your right arm and reach it forwards, lifting the arm only as high as you can come without feeling neck or shoulder tension. Extend the opposite leg back behind you. So left leg reaching away. The leg is no higher than hip height. We don't want to lift so high that we're arching into the low back. Now think about your front bottom ribs tucking up and in towards your spine. Feel your core and your pelvic floor wrapping in. Now on your inhale, tap the floor with the fingertips and the toes. Exhale, lift it up. We'll do 4 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale up. So nothing else moves. The spine is stable. Your left shoulder is strong, pushing away from the ground. And 2. On your last one, lift and hold position now, reaching out through the fingers and toes. Let's stay here for 3, 2, 1. Release it in. Good. Take a little moment to reset. Other side, so left arm comes forward, right leg stretches back. Good. Check your stability, square hips, front ribs tucked up and in. Now come down, tap the floor gently. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good. Keep going with those. So every time you lift, deepening that core and pelvic floor connection. Last one. Come up, hold it, stabilize. Deep breaths. We're here for 3, 2, 1. And release it. Great job. Now from here, make your way down onto elbows, keeping the palms flat and shoulder width apart on the mat. Good. Let's repeat some stability work here now in a slight incline. Take your right leg out behind you, lift it up in line with the body, flex your foot, bend your knee so you've made a right angle at the knee joint. Let your leg lower about halfway to the floor as you breathe in. Exhale, kick it up. Squeeze through the back of the leg, back the glutes. But as you're lifting and lowering the leg here, we're still focusing on our shoulder stability and our core connection too. Exhale, lift. lower. Let's do one more. Now press that heel up, hold it here. Extend that leg out straight now. See if you can press that leg a little higher to the ceiling. Keep the core strong. Now with a straight leg, lower halfway. Kick it up. Same again, lift and lower. 4 more. Exhale up. That's it. 3. Keep that spine super steady. And 2. Last one. Now lift it, hold it. If possible, extend that left arm forward. Float the fingertips up off the mat. If it's too much, put it back down. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Lower everything to the mat. Stay where you are. Take a moment to reset the body. Straight into the other side. So left leg comes back. We lift it up. Find that length through your spine, right up to your toes. And then once you're there, we bend the knee 90 degrees. Lower the leg halfway. Exhale up. Just 4 more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Doing well. 3. Strong shoulders. Keep tucking the front ribs up and in. Last time, lift the legs, stabilize. Now extend it all the way out. Point your toes, squeeze and lift just a little bit more. Lower straight leg halfway, all the way up. And 4, 3, 2. Last one. Now stay there. Keep the leg lifted, keep the shoulders, the core strong. If you're ready, take the right arm forwards. Float the fingertips up off the mat, only if it feels right for you. Stay here for 3, 2, 1, and lower, release. Well done. Now just come back up. Take your knees as wide as the mat, but bring your big toes together. Sit back on your heels, reach your arms forward, and just release your chest all the way down to the mat. If it's comfortable to do so, rest your head on the floor as well. Good. Now in this child's pose position, I want you to really focus on releasing the lower back, the belly, right down into the pelvic floor. Take a really deep belly breath. So as you inhale, let the belly expand and open. As you exhale, just feel everything softening. Let go of all tension. As you're breathing in, the ribs can expand sideways and back. And as you exhale, the ribs just soften back in. Let's do one more breath. And release it. Good. Walk your hands all the way back up and release. Good. All right, for our last set here, we'll make our way up to standing. So now that we've found our core and pelvic floor connection, we bring these exercises up into a standing position, which is more functional and will help you a little bit more throughout your day. Let's start here. I'll just turn side on so you can see the positioning. Let's have our feet flat and shoulder width apart, and we'll begin with a bodyweight squat. Take a little moment to find your tall, neutral standing posture, and this is really important to make sure the pelvic floor can activate effectively. Avoid overly arching into the lower back, and similarly, we don't want to be rounding or slouching into that low spine. So find that neutral position here. Think about the rib cage lifting up and away from the hips. Good. Now activate and lift your pelvic floor. Good. From here, let's reach those arms out in front, sit your hips back, bend the knees and come down into a squat. Use your exhale to come all the way back up to the top, and as you lift, feel that zip up through pelvic floor a little deeper. Inhale, reach out, sit down. Exhale, come up. Good, keep going with those. Inhale down, exhale up. Good, 4 more. Inhale. Remember, really use the pelvic floor on the way up. Good, 3. That's it. And 2. Inhale down. Exhale up. 1 more. Now come down and hold. Stay here. Get the weight back into the heels. Check your knees are aligned with your toes. They haven't started to roll inwards. Check the front ribs are tucking up and into the spine, but your back is really straight. Now keep holding, keep lifting the pelvic floor. Just start to pulse up and down. That's it. Deep breaths. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it out. Good. Now bring your feet in a little closer, about hip distance apart. Step your right foot back behind you, resting up onto the ball of the foot. So heel is lifted. Now we're coming into a split squat, really similar position. Same thing, we've just got a different stance here between the legs. You can pop your hands onto your hips for this one. As you inhale, bend both knees, tilt your chest forward, send your hips back behind you. Exhale, stand it up. Inhale, sit back. Exhale, come up. So adding just a little bit of instability to help that pelvic floor connection even more. 2 to go. Inhale down. Exhale up. Last one. Now let's come down and hold it there. So find that split squat. Remember, hips are square, knees pointing forward, core muscles lifting, pelvic floor is connected. Let's add a little pulse. Down and up. Down and up. Keep breathing through it. That's it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it up. Great job. Same thing on the other leg. Good. So lift that back heel up, square off your hips, connect through your core before we move, and then let's begin. Inhale, we sit back and down. Exhale, bring it up. Just 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Remember to always engage a little more on the pelvic floor on the way up. And 2. And lift. Last one. Now let's come down about halfway, hold that position, feel the abs connect a little deeper and start to pulse the legs down and up. Lift the pelvic floor. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release back to the top. Well done. Give your legs a little bit of a shake out. All right, to finish off here, we'll add just a couple of spinal mobility stretches. Your arms can relax beside you. Take your right arm, reach it up, inhale, and then big exhale, let's side bend across. You can reach the opposite arm down towards the floor. Maybe lean the hips across a little bit more to deepen that stretch. Take a couple of deep breaths into the side of the ribs. And then make your way up. Release it, other side, inhale. Exhale. That's it, keep stretching it across. And then lean the hips over if you need that deeper stretch as well. 1 more breath. And then come up. Soften through your knees. Let's roll down. Drop the chin forward. Round your upper back and just reach to the floor. Feel that stretch down through the back of the legs, through the low spine. Relax through your belly. Now keep your knees soft. Deep breath in and then exhale. Let's roll up. Low back. Through the mid back, upper back, straightening back out into our neutral spine. Release the shoulders. Good, last stretch here. Take the hands behind your head and let's add some rotation. So twist to one side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Now as you twist here, try to keep your hips and your legs square. Even weight down through both feet. So that rotation is only coming through the upper and middle parts of the back. That's it. Last one here, each side. Once you've evened out, come back through center, release your arms. Give the shoulders one more big roll. Good, take a deep breath in through the nose, really expand the ribs. Exhale everything out. Well done today. I hope you found this practice today helpful. As always, if you have any questions, please pop them down into the comments below. Hope to see you back here again soon.